Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, MBs. Welcome to not Banana Fish. We're not doing Banana Fish today, unfortunately. This is, well, for science in space. There's monsters, there's magic, there's all sort of crazy things. This is Phantasy Star IV. Now, doing this is a bit of an interim thing just to kill some time until next week when we actually do Banana Fish again. I'm, of course, Shadon. The Soul Doctor is elsewhere. He's on vacation, the dirty shicer that he is. So in the meantime, we'll just get straight into it. I mean, if you don't know about this game, I'm not going to give you a long history lesson on it because ultimately, you know, it'll speak for itself. It is super enjoyable. So without further ado, I'm not going to read out the text as it goes along. I'll just go through it relatively quickly, but if I'm going too fast, then please do let me know. And no, this is not Monster Hunter, you know, on the Sega Genesis from, you know, the olden days, unfortunately. Well, it's an academy. I suppose, like, you know, they don't really have, you know, a who's there or anything like that, so guess that's all it's known for, really. Probably some learning, I'd expect. I mean, it is the town of learning, after all. Man, I've had less, you know, strange stuff end up in my Twitch DMs than just come, so who knows what's going to happen here. And now let us very gingerly saunter out of town, past all these people. No rush, no, you know, immediate need for us to get to this town. It's all fine. What an absolute square this kid is. I mean, okay, yeah, it is the town of learning, so that's all you really do while you're there, but come on. I like this lady immediately. Not taking any crap from this kid at all. Oh man, 2,284. I mean, I won't be alive then, but I can only imagine how horrible things are going to be. I mean, Twitter's going to be even more of a cesspool than it is now. This text does unfortunately scroll very slowly. So yeah, monsters are rampaging across the planet. Hunters are killing the monsters because, of course, they do. And, well, how and when will it all end? Probably, you know, fairly plainly, nothing too, you know, exciting or dangerous like that, you know. It'll be fine. Just need to fumigate a little bit, it'll be alright. Okay, so we now have control, let's have a nosy at some stuff. So this is the menu for Phantasy Star IV, nothing too, you know, unusual here if you've played any JRPGs before. The macro thing is actually the most interesting bit, but we'll get to that later. So for the moment, let's have a nosy at our, you know, unfortunate protagonist here. So, Chaz is the lead character. He is 16 years old. I mean, when I was 16, you know, I was going to go to college and then to university, you know, lead a fairly normal life. This kid's going to be killing giant mantises and stick insects. So, hey, there you go. Currently, he's dual-wielding knives, and, well, he doesn't look like much right now, but he'll actually become one of the best characters in the game, which he should hope so, given he's also the main character. And we can also talk to ourselves. Yeah, I wonder where she is. Let's go find her. Oh, right, she's right there. He said he got separated, but literally just down the road, like, down the corridor, in plain eye shot, 20 feet away. I don't have much hope for this kid, to be honest. So we go see the principal and see what's going on. And we now actually have a list in our pie, so let's take a look at her very briefly. So, pretty much to what it's due for this game. Like, Chaz, brand new character, you know, brand new hunter. Never worked a day in his life, he's level 1, but Alyssa's been around for a while doing this job and she's level 7, which is a nice small bits of detail. Like, this game actually does a really good job with using levels to, like, you know, sell character experience, like, as in, like, you know, tie little bits to the story, which is quite nice. Age? Question. Gonna put in the ballpark of maybe 2,000 years plus, maybe? I mean, characters living thousands of years in Phantasy Star, it's impossible. But she's armed with a boomerang, which actually will hit all enemies on screen. So, that's quite nice. Anyway, let's get moving. And yes, proper manga-style inserts. Really nice. This is one of the best bits of this game. I like to imagine that music started playing immediately when we went into this room, and not because, like, you know, it's just us hearing it. I'm the principal of this academy. Don't mind that I look like I'm out of some sort of 1970s dystopian sci-fi film. Oh god, giant tonsils have invaded the place. Of course it's the basement. I wouldn't expect to see it to be the cafeteria. Yeah, it's a bit strange, isn't it? It's a bit suspect about that. I'm not suspicious at all. I clearly, you know, have a great poker face. There's nothing, you know, untoward about me, you know, running this academy. I don't know how these monsters got here. Well, off we go then. No! Impossible. Good God, he's making meth downstairs or something. I don't even know. Well, I should hope so. This is the start of the game, after all. Alright, so before we actually go down to the basement and investigate what's going on, let's have a nosy around here and speak to some various folk. Yeah. I'm with Chaz on this one. That ain't never happening. We're stuck on this desert piece of crap forever. Let's have a nosy through a telescope. Yeah, not exactly, you know, what was his name again? Ryan May, I think it was? Yeah, I don't think astrology is particularly Chaz's strong suit. Oh, that doesn't sound like anything we deal with in real life right now at all. Nah. Nah. Never heard of any of that. I'll read the statue. Let's have a look. Nah, he can't be real. Nope. I don't know if he's pacing back and forth or he's literally banging his head into the wall each time he, like, you know, goes back and forth. Well, let's go see what's up with him anyway. He has a portrait. He might be important. I make a great meat shield. Birth Valley. You know, could be a mythological place where the creation of man happened. Could possibly, you know, some sort of blend of, you know, organic milk. Who knows? Yep, I am searching for the professor's whereabouts, and I am currently intensely focused on this basement. And again, a very astute observation there. I'll be fair to Han, like, he's at least smart enough to recognise that if he went down in there, he'd just be a stain on the floor within the first 15 minutes. Miseta, by the way, is the currency of the game. In case you're not gathering already, by the way, folks, Alice is awesome. Like, she does not take crap from anyone. It's one of the best parts of this game. One nice detail, by the way, that you might have noticed is that when we started the game, we had 500 Miseta, and we actually now have 600, so you actually do get money from Han after the conclusion of that little cutscene, which is quite nice. But anyway, without further ado, let's go into this basement and see what's going on. It's a bit suspect. Okay, we've got monomates. Just one friend. We've got a single friend. Monomates are actually curative items. They're basically the equivalent of potions from Final Fantasy, the lowest tier that you can get. And we have our first battle. So Phantasy Star IV is turn-based, and it does rely on speed as a stat in order to determine who actually strikes first. So characters, as they level up, some will have higher unit speed stats and others, some won't. And what happened was we got attacked first, because sometimes that just happens. So we'll start by giving our guys some commands. Now you've got 3 different types of commands here. You've got attack, technique, and special skills. You can also use items, and you can also defend. Defending reduces your damage by half. Characters with different weapons can do different things depending on their attacks. Alice can actually hit all enemies at once, so since she can do that, we'll have her do that. Now, because Chaz is only level 1, all he has at the moment is res, which is not really that useful for actually doing damage. It's just a it's just a story thing. He doesn't need that right now. So instead, we'll actually just have him whack something. And Han, well, he doesn't really have much useful either, so we'll just have him hit something also. And we'll repeat the same attacks this time around. But, actually, we'll have Chaz swap around in case it doesn't kill him. I have to say, the design of these creatures, like with the little bulbous heads, makes them look like like they've got boxing gloves on. It's a bit strange. But anyway. So Chaz actually looks surprised about beating that, but he'll be okay for the time being. So we'll head back down here for another chest. Or I'd like to, but we got him. So there we go. Alright. Focus this one down, see if we get it first. They really do not like Chaz today. The man is going to need 3 showers after this, though, with all the bath that these, living tonsils are spitting out on him. Alright. We'll just quickly heal up. Han's got the most TP, which is, your MP, essentially. Phantasy Star likes to be a little different. So we'll have him, heal up Chaz here. There we go. Still probably have to stain on his armour, but it's not the end of the world. Now these are the basic forms, and these are, well, they die really easily, so not even really a big threat right now. As you can see, because Alice is such high level, she actually takes, like, no damage. Chaz, unfortunately, had a brief moment of stigmatism there and decided not to actually hit the monster, which was really unhelpful for him, but, well, never mind. And they're all dead. Everyone levels up a little bit. Way. These are the only 2 enemy types in this dungeon at the moment, so combat's not too difficult. It's more of a tutorial, to be honest. Antidote is, well, that's obviously to leave the fresh minty breath after you take. No, of course, it's cure poison. None of the enemies in this place actually cause poison, though, so it's a bit pointless right now, but that doesn't matter. Oh, this, by the way, doesn't look suspect at all. I mean, this is clearly, just doing homebrew stuff, micro-brew, getting a couple of IPAs going. There's nothing wrong with this at all. That over there in the distance? Nah, it's nothing. It's fine. Alright. So we got boss. So it might be time to crack open some different techniques here, because the list actually has a few that are quite useful. So Sana actually increases agility, which means that you're more likely to attack first, which will be quite useful for this fight. This fight, by the way, is actually kind of a joke, so I'm probably selling it way too hard. Anyway, Han also uses Vision, which increases accuracy. Now, Shift increases attack power, but it only affects one party member, so we're going to give it to Chaz, since he's the one who actually hits hardest. And we'll have him be on cleanup duty, because this boss basically spawns these little minions infinitely, but it doesn't actually do any damage itself as long as there aren't two of them on screen. So if you keep them down, you can't die. And that's how good Shift is, by the way. Look at that damage boost. Now, because that's up, actually, we don't even need Chaz to handle these individually. We'll have a list do that, so she'll hit everything. He can focus on the boss, and Han can then do cleanup. Easy peasy. Lava, rinse, and repeat. Ooh, critical. Very nice. Speaking of IPAs, I'm currently drinking a Hobgoblin, because why not? Because of the Sana ability I used before, that's why I'm maxing before all of these enemies, because the party moves faster, so we're not even taking any damage. This is laughably easy. It's just a question of wearing them down now. Ooh! Loving these criticals. And that's the boss dead, and the final enemy. Easy peasy, lemon squeeze it. He's using two knives, lady. Like, what do you mean his swing is too slow? Like, are you referring to a dance move or something? What? I don't get it. Han, see this? To my right? This looks like something that crawled out of Satan's laboratory. Why is this happening on your property, mate? Well, I didn't think that you know for keeping prunes handy. Nah. Oh, nothing gets pie Chaz, that's for sure. I don't know why, but I'm reading all of Han's lines in my head in the voice of Christopher Randolph, who voices Archon from Metal Gear Solid. Snake! Snake! To answer your question, Jamal, they'll do approximately the same damage to all enemies. There's a slight variation. They have like a mild damage range, but the enemy it hits first will take the same as the enemy at the last, broadly speaking. Alright, let's go see Principal Shifty and see what he's got to say for himself. He's probably going to have his fingers crossed behind his desk. Although, funnily enough, although we killed the boss, the actual infestation has not been cleared out. So they decide, alright, well, you know what? Fine, I'll kill these on the way out. Wow, Chaz really is getting barfed on quite badly here. Oh, and Han gets in on it as well. Ah, Han's learned the technique. What? What's that? What's actually short for water? It's actually ice magic in this game, funnily enough. This is actually one of the most useful techniques early on, because since we're on a desert planet, most of the enemies in the open world, as we'll find later, are actually weak to cold. And when we get some other techniques later, we can combine them to make some really powerful attacks. So Han will actually come into his own fairly soon. I do have to wonder, like, did the creature designer for this game, like, did he come up with these guys after a particularly traumatic visit to the dentist? Ah, no. Well, that's that handled anyway. So, casual stroll upstairs, and let's go, you know, read the old principle, the Riot Act. That is the look of someone who, if you don't tell them like this, say like, well, man's gonna be hanging out the window, probably just by his like lab coat over like some spikes. It's gonna end badly for him. The 6th most dangerous thing in this world, after Mad Dog 2020. Great Scott! They were all red shirts. Well, considering they didn't come back the first time around, I actually don't think it's unreasonable for, you know, the prince to say, right, send in the second wave. There's no way that this could possibly go wrong. Go, Zio! Oh, he's a Vegas guy, is he? Oh yeah, this guy, he's clearly, you know, clean cut, nice guy, gets you back before bedtime, you know, wouldn't offend, you know, your daughter in you or anything like that. Nah, he's legit. He's cool. Well, I certainly didn't have him down as, you know, the technical magician. I mean, at least credit where it's due, Zio's got a consistent dress sense. How is he seeing that? Like, did Zio just, like, pull out, like, a little, you know, Polaroid from underneath that ridiculous outfit of his? Did he show him his Instagram? I wonder. I almost feel like if Alyss was modelled in 3D, she would lean through that, like, directly towards the camera. Just like when she says that, like, you know, things to come. Wink nudge. Oh, great, sandworms. I mean, I've read Dune. I know it doesn't end well when those critters are around. We end up fighting the Fremen at some point. I have to say, Han has deep pockets. And, yep, we do indeed get 300 Miseta for that as well, which is quite nice. That's not the last time that Han will be digging into his pension fund, so, you know, let him tag along with us. Anyway, let's be on our way. Now, it might be worth us just quickly stopping at the inn to rest up before we head out into the open world. Inns do about what you expect. Oh, that one doesn't even touch the side of my pockets, that. We shouldn't need any of these for now. I mean, monomates are cheap and all, but now we're good. And now we're in the open world. One of the nice things about this game, by the way, if you're ever unsure of where you need to go, like this was before the time, of course, when you would get like objective markers and the like pointing where to go on the open world map. If you go to talk, it'll give you reasonable directions of where to go, which is quite nice. So we want to go northeast. Also results in some nice banter occasionally. Sandworm Ranch. Yeah, that's a... No, I'm... Man, like, can you imagine the insurance cost of having, like, tourists come to the Sandworm Ranch? You know, you bring your son along, he's Timmy, he's age 5, he just leans his head over the actual, you know... he leans his head over the fence and just gets devoured whole by a sandworm. No refunds. Again, nothing really important we need to buy here right now. There is, however, this place. Let's go buy some weapons. Alright, immediately off the bat we're going to buy a sword for Chaz. Now, a lot of the characters in this game can actually dual wield daggers, or one-handed weapons. Alice can, Han can, Chaz can, but daggers for Chaz are pathetically inferior to actual swords, so we'll buy more of them. Now, we'll also buy 2 slashers for Alice, because she can actually wield both of them, and then she'll do double damage, which is quite nice. Plus it's an upgrade on her existing boomerang. Annoyingly, you cannot buy multiple items at once, which is a bit of a limitation, but... ah well. I am a fine game player, so just bring out the button masher in me. Now, I'm going to actually buy a shield for Han. He already has one, but I'm going to buy him a second, because you can actually give characters 2 shields as well if they can equip them. And since he's not really going to be hitting things physically because he's, you know, a caster, makes sense. Alright. All the characters already have leather equipment, so there's actually no point in us buying any leather armour. It's just there for completeness sake, I guess. But we can sell our gear, so we'll do that now. Nah, so I'll sell that. Keep that handy for later. Alright, we're keyed out, let's move on. So this is the town of Melee, or Mile... potato, however you want to pronounce it. That castle on the top left seems ominous. I'm sure we'll never go there. Anyway, let's keep going up to the northeast to find Birth Valley. And what might this place be? I like how when they turned to stone, that also meant all of the doors on, like, the weapons store and the inn were also shut. Maybe they knew that, like, you know, Zio was coming to town. Anyway, this is Birth Val Y. Yeah, it's that kind of, you know, error limitation. Oh, more of these things. Lovely. No real strategy with this one. Han can just defend on this, because there's no point having wasted time. There's so many enemies, we might as well just get a list to hit everything. And now they barely even scratch him. I see what you did there, Jamal. I see what you did there. Alright, carbon shield. So, we already actually got a better shield for Han, which means I feel a little silly for buying one before, but never mind. Classic JRPG trope, you know, you think yourself, right, I'm going to buy all the gear in town, and, you know, it'll be great and all that, and then you go into a dungeon and suddenly there's a nice piece of kit that just gets left out there in the middle of nowhere. Ah, well, it's not the end of the world. But you can see now that Liz has got 2 slashes, he's actually doing more damage. Chaz now hits much harder with a sword, which is quite nice. Ooh. critically barfed on. Quite nasty. Now, I should mention the macro command. One of the nice things about this game is that you can actually set up pre-scripted command sequences ahead of time. So if you, for example, only want your characters to attack and can't be bothered or are too lazy to put all of the attack inputs in yourself, you just have them do that. So I can literally do this. This is also really useful when we get more party members later because it allows us to set up ahead of time, like, okay, I know what buffs I want to put up ahead of time for my characters, so I'm going to have them do that. That being said, there are limitations. For one thing, you can't necessarily guarantee the order the characters will act in, which is important later. And also, if you have buffs that only affect a single character, they will get cast randomly, which is not particularly useful if you put, you know, the attack power boost on, say, a spellcaster. But it is still really, really handy. It is a really nice concession, actually, that they put that into this game. It's not something I would have expected to come until the game, like, much later on, like, say, in the early 2000s. So we got a surprise attack, so we get to attack first, so nothing out of the ordinary there. And Chaz, again, you know, trips over himself and completely misses the giant, you know, satanic pair of boxing gloves there in front of him. Oh, we got him. Ah, we have something different now. So, let's see what we've got this one. Now, Alyssa actually has access to the fire technique. This is a plant, so in theory, and maybe I'm making this completely out of nowhere, she should be able to do extra damage with fire. We'll use the water technique as well.